Question always inevitably comes, were all white people responsible for the apartheid system? And the answer to the question is pretty simple. How many white people do you know protested against the Bantu education system by taking their children out of Model C schools into township schools to experience the same education as their black counterparts in protest and to push the apartheid government to change its education policy? How many white people do you know who had a job preserved for them refused to take the job because it was unfairly and unjustly preserved for them, excluding other races, so they protested so that the government would stop that preferential treatment? How many white people today say that we have benefited for many years with 90% of the country's fiscus going to their development, so therefore they refuse to pay the same tax as black people and they will pay more tax for the next 25 years? How many white people do you hear petitioning this government saying that we want black people to be paid more money in the workplace to compensate for the lack that they've had over the past 150 years and to ensure that black people are taken out of poverty? How many white people petitioned the apartheid government to say we want an end to apartheid and separate development? We want to develop completely as a nation and we want to do away with the injustice of apartheid. How many white people today refuse to leave South Africa and take their skills to other countries because they accept and acknowledge that the taxes of this nation, the taxes of the black nation, funded their education system and gave them the benefits that they have today. Therefore, they need to pay back by developing this economy, developing black people, and paying back what they have received over the past 60 years under the NP and the 100 years before that? How many white people accept that the apartheid government did not deliver services to black people? And those who say that it delivered services, how many of them take their kids to Chris Ane Baragwanath Hospital? How many of them took their kids to Chris Ane Baragwanath Hospital back in the day? How many would take their children to black schools that were created by the apartheid government today? How many white people are responsible enough to accept that ESCOM is a failure because of the planning that was done by the apartheid government to give only electricity to 25% of the population while exporting the rest to people in Africa? When will white people begin to accept these realities? And if they do not accept those realities, and they've benefited from the proceeds of apartheid, and they've never refused those benefits and proceeds of apartheid, are they not complicit with the apartheid system? Are they not a part and parcel of the apartheid system? Do most of them not wish that they could go back to apartheid? Do most of them not understand that by wanting better services for themselves and forgetting that there's a nation of poverty-stricken people, that is racism?